Hey guys, it's Emma Vigeland with TYT Politics, coming to you with some interesting news. I'll give you my analysis on it at the end. But Donald Trump over the weekend met with the Koch brothers. As you know, Trump said that he was going to drain the swamp when he was running for president. But now President Trump is meeting with the swampiest of the swamp. I mean, when you think of big money in politics, what do you guys think of? Maybe Hillary Clinton, but you also maybe think of the Koch brothers. They are the biggest donors for the Republican network and have built an empire of conservatism throughout the country. Now Trump is filling his cabinet with Goldman executives and lobbyists and meeting with the Koch brothers, which is the swampiest thing you could possibly do, Politico reports. President Donald Trump on Saturday had a friendly chat at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, where he always is, with twin megadonor brothers David and Bill Koch, whose family had clashed with Trump during the campaign. Three people familiar with the interaction said that it occurred when Trump stopped by as the billionaire brothers were eating dinner with conservative media entrepreneur Chris Ruddy. Okay, this is ridiculous. There's no way this was not a coordinated meeting. They weren't just happening to eat at Mar-a-Lago, Bill and David Koch. Give me a break. While Bill Koch supported Trump during the general election, David Koch and his older brother Charles Koch sidelined their massive political machine during the presidential campaign in protest of Trump. The Koch network has already fired shots across the bow of the Trump administration, and any rapprochement between Trump and David and Charles Koch could be as significant in pretending a less adversarial relationship between their network and the administration. The Koch network, which has spent hundreds of millions of dollars over the past decade trying to mold the GOP to the brothers' brand of libertarian infused conservatism, sat out the presidential election out of distaste for both Trump and his Democratic rival Hillary Clinton. So just because the Koch brothers didn't spend in the presidential part of this election, don't think that they were sitting on their hands. The Center for Media and Democracy uncovered 58 Koch-funded candidates for state legislative seats in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and Wisconsin. The actual number could be much larger, for the bulk of the network's donations go through dark money channels. Dear God, when you're doing this for your living, and you are just funneling your money through literally what it is called dark money channels, do you ever reevaluate and think, maybe my greed is boundless and I'm a terrible person? But they also spent money on federal congressional elections as well. So while they were not backing Trump on the national level, they were swarming the state level operations to take over conservatism from the ground up, which is what they have been doing, and in what, my opinion, progressives have to do on the left. But if you recall, Trump didn't have nice things to say about the Koch brothers during the campaign either. He tweeted in August, "I wish good luck to all the Republican candidates that traveled to California to beg for money, etc. from the Koch brothers. Puppets? Question mark. How about you now, Trump? Are you a puppet?" I see. Now, we can speculate on what the meeting was about, which I will do later, but it's unbelievable, the hypocrisy, how he has just completely flipped. And Trump was a puppet of his own donors, just not of the Kochs. He also said this, "I really like the Koch brothers, members of my PB club, but I don't want their money or anything else from them. Cannot influence Trump," he said in July. We shall see about that. This was their first meeting since apparently Trump threw Harry Hurt III off of their golf course, who was playing with David Koch. Hurt has written an unflattering biography about Trump, and Koch apparently called Trump petty and vulgar on account of the incident when he kicked both of them off of his golf course. Sounds like Donald Trump. This is largely why Trump basically bucked them in the election, because he didn't really need them. He had the backing of the Mercers, Robert Mercer most specifically, and the Mercers are a brand of anti-establishment donors as opposed to the Koch brothers, who are kind of behind the Paul Ryans of the world. And they brought people like Ted Cruz to the forefront and were supportive of both Steve Bannon and Kellyanne Conway being involved in Donald Trump's administration. He also had the financial backing of Sheldon Adelson, the second most important donor, in my view, in the Republican Party after the Koch brothers. So he kind of did a calculation like, I'm going to drain the swamp, but I'm not going to, associate myself with the Koch brothers, who are kind of the antithesis of what he was trying to say he was going to do, which is drain the swamp during the campaign. A lot of people are speculating that this meeting had to do with healthcare. The Koch brothers, American Prosperity, that's their organization, along with the Heritage Foundation, were opposed to the Trump Care bill because it didn't go far enough in slashing healthcare for Americans. Lovely. The Koch network spent an estimated $250 million on last year's election. The Koch-run Americans for Prosperity, which had chapters in more than 30 states and boasts that it can deploy 3.2 million citizen activists, spent almost $14 million on the 2016 elections, according to federal records. Freedom Partners, another Koch entity which largely targeted Democrats with attack ads, spent $30 million. Tim Phillips, president of Americans for Prosperity, would not say directly that Republicans who support the bill will face consequences next year, but noted members of Congress know how serious we take a vote like this. These guys sound like mob bosses. James Davis, a spokesman for Freedom Partners, said network organizations will stand with principled lawmakers who will oppose the House healthcare proposal. Davis said the Koch network will spend between $300 million and $400 million in the 2018 elections, which brings me to my analysis of this. They are going to spend $300 million and $400 million to keep Republican control in our government. Why? I mean, they do this every year. I understand that. But a meeting with Trump, who they really despise and who doesn't have any political capital, really, with his floundering approval rating and being just a generally hated president, even amongst his own party, there's just few and far, but you have to look very closely to find any staunch supporters. So why are they meeting with him? And here is my belief and my analysis. From Trump's end, I don't think he has a strategy. But from their end, I think that they see the writing on the wall. That there's a tidal wave of progressive support coming their way. That they have to watch out. Progressives are coming angry in 2018, and they may not have the big money behind them, but they have the passion and the drive to get this done. And they're already seeing what can happen with mobilized progressives in red states like Kansas, news that happened today. As the Topeka Capital Journal reported last week, big money is being spent to elect Ron Estes, the Republican who wants to be the next congressman from Koch. What a title. You gotta be proud, man. Among the political action committees contributing more than $93,000 to Estes' campaign are groups tied to Koch Industries and to various conservative political organizations, noted the paper. Also funneling money into his campaign were the political action committees for industry groups such as the American Bankers Association, National Association of Home Builders, the National Business Aviation Association, and the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, among others. Estes was running against a self-proclaimed Bernie-crat, James Thompson, in Kansas, in this district. And in that district, Trump won by a landslide, 27 points. So this was a special election to replace Mike Pompeo, and Ron Estes was running as the Republican funded by Koch, the Koch brothers, and running against a self-proclaimed Bernie-crat in a district where Trump won by 27 points. Yeah, Thompson lost today. Or it was yesterday, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, it was yesterday, excuse me. Thompson lost. But how'd the race turn out? Thompson took almost 46% of the vote, improving on the Democratic percentage from 2016 by more than 16 points. Where Pompeo regularly won by margins of more than 30 points, Republican Ron Estes won this year by under 7 points. And the DNC, predictably, didn't lift a finger to help this Bernie-crat. You know what that means? Grassroots fury. Are you guys excited? Because this makes me excited. They're running scared. They funneled their money into a special election, which should be where they excel, where turnout is exceedingly low, where only elderly and often Republican voters turn out. This should be their bread and butter. And they lost that much ground? Whew. Let's go, 2018. So look, I think this meeting is significant because they are trying to congregate as, and build up their forces with even this unpopular president, because they know that they're going to have to walk arm in arm into this battlefield that is 2018. Because progressives are coming, and they're coming pissed. And it's going to be fun. Let's make sure, though, that we don't lose momentum. Yep, Brian, we'll get them next time. I promise you that. Have a great day, guys.